right, everybody, it's a big semi-final match up here in the top right. Shopify Rebellion's BYUN. And he's actually delayed his Marine to get the command center down as quickly as possible. Interesting. Makes sense, makes sense. When you're doing this build order, that's actually really smart because it allows the command center to finish a little bit faster. You're planning to have a delay in your production after the Marine anyway because it's Marine, Factory, then Reactor. Very cute build order. Little does he know, though, that his opponent, the GSL Super Tournament champion, soon to go to the military, but he's still got a few more online tournaments in him. Dragon Phoenix Gaming ZEST. It's chrono boosting a Stalker first. Going to be a great unit to put pressure on, especially when he's already building a forward Stargate. So he's going to be attacking the front with Stalkers and flying an Oracle into the base. And you know what doesn't do well against that? A player who's building Hellions. Hellions aren't great versus Stalkers. They don't shoot up, so they can't shoot Oracles. And BYUN is a player who notoriously does not scout. Ever since about a year and a half ago when he had a really big spike, I think at the end of 2020, it was when he had this huge spike in performance. And he actually just basically stopped scouting. And he very rarely does it. Every now and then he will do a Reaper scout or an SCV scout, but I think I've got a very good idea of what ZEST is trying to punish right now, and these Marines are in for a spot of bother. That Stalker is going to take advantage of them, and I love to do exactly what BYUN does here, because a lot of Protoss players never go Stalker first, but you know, ZEST is the guy who's smart enough to punish this. That SCV on the low ground, he's like, hey, if you come in there, you're going to get surrounded. So clever patience here from BYUN, and he's already got one Widow Mine in the mineral line. He's going to try and burrow this one at the front as well. Stalker will not be able to kill that in time. Nice control. And he's even going to send the SCV up to repair it. Now, ZEST, if he's clever, he could pick off that SCV. He's going to do it. Nicely done. BYUN a bit too slow to react there. Got to watch out for that Oracle coming in towards the main. Where is that Widow Mine? You can see it's just hidden in the mineral line. Marines already get some damage on the Oracle. Is he just going to Revelate? Or is he actually... No, he's going to go for the SCVs. Could have Revelated the Widow Mine, but I think too much chance of BYUN pulling it back in time. And he's very afraid right now with the Oracle, but look at that. Dropping Marines on top of the Oracle. A very nice move. And so far, very well defended for BYUN, who still wants to go across the map, apparently. He's going to try and boost on out. ZEST will spot this. BYUN could just drop on top of that if he wanted to, but he says, nah, I'm boosting. It's fine. We can just go past. You can't catch me. A couple shots do damage the medevac. But if the medevac saw this Stargate, I think he'd definitely just stop out here and deal with that. Two Phoenix are out on the map, and he does actually see the Stargate. He boosts. I don't know. Oh, this is scary, man. Stalkers and Phoenix and the Oracle could clean this up. So I think as BYUN here, yeah, keep your hit points up on that medevac. Definitely depower this and then get the heck out of there is the way to do it. Saves him. Every single Marine gets saved. He's going to go hide. That's interesting, the path he's taken. The Phoenix might get him on the way home, man. Yeah, he's going to lose it. Oh, great catch by ZEST. This is a great movement pattern by ZEST. Catches the full dropship. And I gotta ask, why didn't BYUN just run straight? I don't think if he was gonna go that way, he should have gone to the bottom right corner and hid. As it is now, he's lost a lot of his early Marines. He is sending what appears to be a Raven down the right side of the map, but losing those 8 Marines definitely swings things back in ZEST's favor. ZEST has a third base, Forge, and a Twilight Council on the way. Right now, it's just a couple of Stargate units, a couple of Stalkers. He's gonna try and force BYUN to trade with him. And there is a Widow Mine in that mineral line. Oh, Revelation picks it up. Very nice. Surprised the Oracle didn't turn on its laser beam, but it has to drop that second SCV that he tried to lift up. Units lost tab. Only a single pylon has died so far for ZEST, so efficiency is off the charts, and he's got a third base up. And it doesn't feel like BYUN has a push timing very soon, right? Stim's just started. I think after this third tank, he'll swap the factory off. But does he just keep building tanks afterwards? He might just build a new tech lab with it and then just keep building siege tanks. Obviously not as important as getting +1, stim, and then shield started. So that's where his gas has to go. That's why he should lift the factory off first. And double Templar Archives, bit of a mistake here for ZEST, guys. ZEST has been really big on dropping double structures recently. He does it a lot. Kind of forgets he put one of them down, so he ends up building 2. There's only one upgrade on the Templar Archives, that is Psystorm, so he selects it as it finishes, and I think he realizes, ah, shit. I accidentally built 2 of these. But he's up to 6 gases. Where is Storm? He's waiting for 200 gas right now. He's missing 1 worker on this gas geyser, and actually he's making Archons to start. Okay, I guess he thinks BYUN's going to push him, and he is correct in that regard. I still thought that, knowing Zest's style, he would try to rush Psystorm out, but I guess with no Zealots on the map, no real meat to his army, he's going to try and do it. The Raven comes in. and drops an auto turret. Only gets a single kill there, and this one doesn't really do anything. And he gets feedbacked on the right side. Raven has achieved nothing. Phoenix can come back and kill that at any point, and it will be going down. BYUN's got a cute push here. Is it going to be enough? Already forward gateway on the map. ZEST playing this no robo style. I love it. You guys would know that I have been playing no robo unless I'm absolutely forced to pretty much every game in PvT recently, and realizing it really simplifies the game. You just have a very mineral focused style. ZEST, of course, not doing a mineral focused style. And he is up to 6 gases, 63 workers, +1 armor on the way for him as well. He's going to add Blink in there for a bit of mobility. A 10th gateway is, of course, going up on the front, and it looks like just a giant Zealot Arc on YOLO. BYUN has his tanks in the open, and he will lose. If he doesn't put those tanks on the high ground or behind a natural wall off, he'll just die to an A move. So BYUN's going to try to run back into his natural. He's got those Widow Mines burrowed out front, but they're easy pickup targets. And honestly, he should get those tanks on the high ground right now. Big drop goes in. This could maybe force ZEST home. Focusing the Templar Archives is a little bit of a trap since he's got a second one of those command centers out in the open. Tanks get to the high ground though. BYUN should not be able to be killed here. He should be okay. He's struggling to get Marines in range of the Phoenix if they did choose to lift up the tanks. These Zealots come in, but they all die out of range of the battery overcharge. So far, a very good hold. I'm not sure if he cancelled the third or not. We'll check the units lost. He did not, so he lost the 400 minerals. But he's doing very well with his counter damage. He's going to try and pick up and get out of there. Remember, there's only 3 Phoenix on the map, or 2. So he might kill this low orange hit point 1. Does click on it, but no, he doesn't focus fire it. And ZEST going to try to warp in some Zealots. That's super cute. Focus on the pylon, though, and you can stop that warp in. Oh, he's actually just going to say, screw that, I'll just kill the Zealots. Because if I kill the pylon, you get the money refunded, or most of the money anyway. But if I do it this way, nah. Let's take down those Zealots. Guys in the chat, let me know. You get 3/4 of your money back, right? If it gets cancelled like that, mid-warping, you don't get 100%. I know that you can still then just warp in again immediately, I believe, right? If it gets killed like that, the warp gate resets. I'm not sure. Let me know. I'm not actually sure on that. I'm having a bit of a mental blank right now. Storm is on the way. BYUN's done a great job of keeping himself alive through a very dangerous portion of the game. His third command center is now rebuilding. He's not building SCVs, and I guess it kind of makes sense. There's no third up right now. Getting Ghost is way more important to deal with the Zealot Archon army. This army is so weak to Ghosts. BYUN's got to be careful, though. Like, he often gets caught pushing on the map with tanks. And ZEST is he's not afraid to YOLO. He's just going to go around. You cannot fight till you have Ghosts right now. BYUN thinks he's like, oh, you're 3 base, you're too greedy, I've got to fight. ZEST's been on 65 probes since the start of the game. This is not what you want to be doing as BYUN. So a great counterattack here from ZEST. I mean, good AMPs from BYUN, but he doesn't actually even hit the Archons. And the army's coming home for BYUN now. He should absolutely abandon the natural and go up to the main. Oh man! Dude, pull up to the high ground. And now he changes his mind and decides to continue. The Archons are all derping out down there. This is a disaster for BYUN. Should not have been pushing on the map at that time. Needed to wait for those Ghosts and needed to have a little bit more map vision now. I talked a lot when I was analyzing the Maru series about how you can't allow him to just have gateways and pylons all over the map. ZEST only has that 1 Oracle for map vision. If you can kill that, that's the biggest thing that you can get to limit his map vision. But most importantly, you want to split drops off and send them around to clear up his forward warp-in pylons. You don't want to actually let him have these pylons and this map vision, these spotters that he builds all over the place, because it gives him too much information. And a player who skipped Observer Tech should be short of information. He should not have as much information. But ZEST has realized that, hey, I just chuck a couple of minerals into this, they're forward warp-in spots, they're also great spotter units, and this can potentially win me the game. Now that command center is burning down, guys. BYUN a little too slow to float most of these. These barracks should be able to make it to the corner of the map. Let's see if he can force a draw. To do that, he's going to have to get rid of all the mining. If he can kill this Nexus, actually, that's a silly spot to put a Nexus. He barely has enough money to get 1 more Nexus. If these guys find this and find those probes, ZEST cannot keep mining. And if ZEST can't keep mining, well, he has nothing that can get to a barracks that hides in the corner of the map. Right now, though, BYUN has not hidden anything in the corner of the map. That command center is going to drop down some mules to repair itself. He finds this Nexus, that gets cancelled. There's enough money for another one, and most importantly, the probes escape. So ZEST still with a much better head-to-head army. Remember, there's no Ghosts in here. There's a few Widow Mines. Oh, he only gets a single one. That's a bit of a bummer. The other one might kill a Stalker, though, which could be nice. Barracks floating out. He's dropped some mules to repair himself. This command center is going to try to come back in, drop mules to repair itself as well. BYUN has plenty of minerals to repair. Keeps those command centers up. There is a small chance of him rebuilding in this game. He has a starport, which of course could go build a tech lab. And if you make Cloaked Banshees, guess what? No detection for your opponent. Zest's only recourse against that would be hitting his own units with an Archon to use friendly fire splash damage to hit the Banshees, or to Psystorm where he sees that the Banshee blur is. So Banshees, of course, a very common thing to do in the latter stages. He can't pick up this whole army. BYUN's dead. He just gets jumped on here. I think he's dead. Oh my god, does he realize this army's right there? BYUN, get out of there. Pick up the tanks and run. He's gonna have to borrow the Widowmine. He's gonna try and fight. BYUN, Chad Gamer. Well, Bio's very good, but chasing into Storm is not so good. Oh, he goes after them. Forces the High Templar to morph. A bit of a wild engage, but you know what? Most of the army got stuck behind each other. I would have loved it to see him continue fighting if he was going to do that and try to get that Archon. Another Nexus is building here. He never ended up repairing this one. This guy's going to float down the left side of the map. I mean, there's no Psystorm anymore. Tanks are very good, as are Widow Mines. And your army is more mobile with the Bio. But there is, wait, there's one High Templar. Oh, there's one High Templar with full energy. That's got 2 Storms packed up on it. Command Center dies up there to that Zealot. Well played. So I think BYUN's just going to have to all in here. There's a full base of mining. He's going to rebuild his probes, get unsupply blocked eventually. He's already got a shield battery, which with overcharge would be fantastic. So maybe tank, and then just try to push forward from there might be the way to do it. Definitely BYUN. Yeah, he's thinking about that. Tanks hugging the edges. Oh, he doesn't quite get the battery. Oh no, that's a real bummer. I mean, these guys up front aren't even in range of the battery anyway. But Zest just had a bit too much, and Zest does get the win there. Very nice play from Zest. Big waves of Zealot Archon, and gets in there and messes them up before the ghosts get out. Interesting to see a Siege Tank style from this player up here in the top left. Against the heavy Zealot Archon style, we haven't really seen much Colossus from his opponent in his recent Grand Finals versus Maru. Surprising to see tanks from BYUN. If you're going to play tanks against this style, it can work, but you've got to be incredibly turtly, and those tanks can basically never leave the high ground or the safety of being behind a wall off. His opponent Zest, though, in the bottom right, Dragon Phoenix Gaming up against, of course, Shopify Rebellion from BYUN. I mean, you can always expect potentially Zest to go Colossus. I mean, he's a great Colossus player. It's just he's been playing a lot of this Blink into Zealot Archon, or Oracle into Blink into Zealot Archon, I should say. Lots of proxy gateways, and if Zest can do it, he likes to build a gateway up here and a gateway down here. The question in chat was, how are draws handled in StarCraft? Is it still a best of 3 where the game doesn't count? Yeah, basically they just replay the map. You reload the map if it's a draw. And of course, how does it become a draw if basically neither player can... there's a built-in draw timer. Obviously, the players can agree to a draw, usually. The admin's like, okay, do you guys agree? They both agree. They're like, okay, and they just restart the map. And they'll do that if they think there's no way for either side to actually win. So for instance, if the Protoss has lost all of his ability to mine and build Nexus, but has a way bigger army, doesn't matter if you can kill the Terran's army, because if he doesn't have flying units, you can always just float a barracks in the corner, and the win condition is to kill their buildings. So the Protoss player and the Terran might just agree to a draw, even though the Protoss has the better army. And chat has indeed confirmed if you kill the pylon, you get a full refund of the 10 zealots that are warping in. So there's 10 zealots warping in on a pylon. Kill the pylon, cancels the warp in. Protoss gets all the money back, and the warp gates are immediately ready to warp in again somewhere else. So that's why BYUN was very clever with focusing those zealots down. Zerg does not get the lava back when they cancel an egg. Doesn't cost them any money. They get the full money back, but they do not get it. Protoss always is overpowered in StarCraft. In case you guys are wondering, there is many little examples of this where in what appears to be a mirrored situation, Protoss is just a little bit better. I think it's purely by chance, but it is just kind of funny the way it works out. Nice cancel on the Shade there for Zest. Gets 2 hits off. Reaper is denying some mining. And of course, I'm pretty sure he saw that Twilight Council. Yeah, he did. He's got to get out of there now, of course. Nice jump in ledge there. Will break the distance with the Shade. And up to... Oh, it's a 2 barracks factory opening. I like this one. It's really hard to judge how to play against this as a Protoss player, I find. The 2 barracks, it leads to some really peculiar timings. It's a bit different to a 3 racks, you know? It could be even a 2-on-1 with the way he's playing it, actually. He might even just go for a quick double medevac drop. Stalker's going to hunt him down. Oh, you dead, dog. Unless he throws a grenade right there. But the Stalker dodges it. Well played by Zest. Zest gets the kill. Dodges the grenade. Very nice. Just a slight adjustment on his path. Let's get the Robo as well. And yes, Starport Reactor. Wow, guys. BYUN's just going to go for a 2-on-1. Now, the disaster would be here for Zest, because his Robo is not very fast and he has no sentry. he has no scouting. He has no idea what's going on. So if Zest goes for like a 3 or 4 gate blink pressure, moves across the map, and then 2 medevacs unload Marines in the corner of his base, he might just lose the game. Because they'll stim in and kill so many probes. And that's going to be, usually that drop will hit about 520. And the Protoss is usually pushing across to pressure around 4 minutes 40 to 5 minutes 20, 5 minutes 30 as well. So, damn, it's a 4-gate build as well. Now, 4-gate blink is very good at shutting it down if he realizes what he's up against, because you've just got so much Stalker production, and the Terran's got to be careful. Obviously, BYUN doesn't even really know what he's playing against either right now, so he's going to need a bunker at the front to defend the counterattack. Let's see what happens. Maybe he just pushes through the middle of the map. The Adept here is waiting. There is actually a sight blocker here. I know it's hard to see, but this is some tall grass that he's standing in. So they might not spot him until they stumble into the Adept, unless the medevacs are down there, which they will be out shortly. Third barracks goes down now as well. And with the quick tech lab, he might even go double reactor. He might swap the barracks onto the starport reactor, and the starport swaps off. Yeah. So he might go for like a really marine heavy army. He didn't even see the Adept, guys. BYUN now sees it and is like, wait, what the hell, dude? Does stim there. But look at that. He's run into a pack of Stalkers. It's real bad for BYUN. He's got a stim just to force them to back off, and then you immediately run away. Get to the high ground, and let's hope Zest doesn't see you, because he's got a Warp Prism coming up as well. He's got a lot of Stalkers out there. Now, if you can sandwich these units, it might be nice for BYUN. He's going to drop. That's a crazy drop. Oh, I don't think the Prism sees as far as a medevac, maybe? I don't think he spotted it. Oh, but this is actually going to do really well. He knows that Zest wants to pull the trigger on him. Kill the pilot and run. Get out of there, dude. He's going to try and fight it. Oh, he says, hey, look, you've recalled in. I can actually take a pretty good fight here. BYUN, way too brave, and does get punished for it. Should have just got the heck out of there. Great blink back micro from Zest, who's going to try and catch these medevacs. He might even try to warp in Stalkers in the middle of the map to catch it, but good pullback. BYUN should get out of there. And what's he got up behind it? He's got 2 siege tanks. He's fine. Whoa, okay, so BYUN's made it through a very scary point in the game. Units lost tab does look in the favor of Zest, but Zest is 2 base versus 2 base. And that's never something you really want as a Protoss. I expect BYUN to come forward and build a command center here any moment now. And look at this. BYUN's actually left just a little marine drop over here. And Zest starting to set up that map vision that he's so famous for recently, setting up some pylon spotters. He's also going to go observers and robo bay this time. So a return to a more traditional style for Zest. Doesn't want to get too predictable. Marines do run in. They kill a probe, and they will cancel a pylon here. He's going to get the heck out of there, try and hide up against the edge of the map. That's not a hidden spot, BYUN. Oof. Does adjust it, though. Third command center is on the way. We've got Marine Marauder coming forward across this map. 4th and 5th barracks will go down here for BYUN. +1 weapons is on the way for him, but the Colossus are on the way. If he can fight pre-Colossus, maybe he could cancel this base. Right now, though, big army coming forward. They spot each other, and the Stalkers just go straight across. Oh, Zest, a little slow to react there. And that does take a fair bit of damage. He's going to try and stem this bio forward and sees the Prism doubling back. BYUN's going to come back for that Prism. That Prism has bought Zest a little bit of time, an important piece of time. Sentry's looking for the double force field here. Zest comes forward, gets a Marauder for a Stalker. Even trade there. Stalker's technically slightly more expensive. Ooh, tanks are in range. There's no battery here. Oh, the hallucination does tank a lot of damage. The Zealots coming forward. Remember, they don't have charge. Colossus comes in, though, but there's not that many Marines for it to shoot. Oh, man, this is a brutal timing for BYUN. Really just finds this narrow moment before range +1, before there's any batteries. And Zest caught out without a shield battery on the 3rd. BYUN doing a great job of keeping Zest pinned back and really fighting for map control. Ties up the series. All right, guys, let's go into Game 3. Glittering Ashes. It's a big old map. And BYUN's still not feeling like he needs to scout early on in this series. This is BYUN. Shopify Rebellion feeling good about their purchase of this big boy's contract. Same way I'm sure Dragon Phoenix Gaming feeling pretty good about Zest. Obviously, 3 workers on gas, only 14 on minerals. That tells us someone's going to be playing Stargate. This is Zest. And I expect Oracle into Blink, but on this map, we might actually just see Oracle into Phoenix play. When Zest does that, he does like to play Zealot Archon behind the Phoenix a little bit. Kind of Showtime-esque, but a bit more aggressive. Showtime often. No hate on Showtime, but I would say he misses some of his attack timings, whereas I don't think Zest ever misses an attack timing. Sometimes he attacks too hard into a situation where maybe he shouldn't have. Now, that's a Tech Lab. This is going to be a Marauder pressure. Probe does not know about that. And BYUN So it's going to be 2 Marauders and Concussive coming out across this map. And it's a Stalker. Ooh, Stalker's very weak to Marauder, guys. And it doesn't get across the map as fast. So this is worst case scenario for ZEST. Because Stalker pressure is so rare, I think the Marauder build is usually pretty bad. And that's why I don't like it. But in this scenario, I love it. And remember, ZEST opened up with the Stalker pressure in game 1. So BYUN may be anticipating that. I mean, he does normally like to just mix this in sometimes. Marauder into 3 racks build order. But yeah, if he can not show this until Concussive is ready, tag the Stalker, get a free kill, and then ZEST will have to drop a battery at home. And actually, it's a Twilight Council. So why is he so gas focused if he's just gone Twilight? What an odd priority. And look at that, guys. Stalker stumbles in. He tries to get the Marine kill. The Marine pulls back. The Marauders are now going to move forward, and ZEST loses a Stalker. Has to build a shield battery. Something you normally don't want to do on your natural unless you know you're up against a 3 racks. And in that case, you'd build it about 4 minutes 30. Close to 5 minutes. Chat asking if it's a best of 3 or a best of 5. You can see down here on the scoreboard just to the left of that. It's very small writing. It's a best of 5 semifinals. Oh, Adept's doing pretty well. Not bad, man. Gets an SCV, gets a Marine. This is very brave from ZEST. You know, classic ZEST. Saying, no, I can defend with a Stalker and a battery. I'm going to pick off some units. Stalker and the battery do push back the Marauders. Marauders could be super brave there and focus down the battery. But no, you got to leave BYUN. BYUN, get out of there. BYUN has hung around for way too long. The Adept looks like it might even escape as well. And, oh, the Stalkers are at least going to have to turn around to get back to the shield battery. BYUN wants to get that kill. He won't be able to get it, will he? Oh, he gets it! Does get a Stalker, but loses 2 Marauders there. Good trade for ZEST. ZEST is only up 6 workers right now, but he does get 1 more SCV.
Let no goal be unmet.
Let the goal be met. Let no goal be unmet. Thank you so much for the love, mate. Of course, we'll very quickly tab out there. Hi-oh! Thank you so much. You guys have been so generous today. It's always a pleasure to cast these EPT Cups. Big thank you to ESL for hosting them, and Shopify and stuff for putting up the prize money, and the sponsors. But of course, we aren't hired for it, so you know we don't get paid for it or anything. So when the community comes out on a day like this and just is like, have all the subs, have all the bits, have even a tip on top of that, a $6.90 tip. So BF Gaming, thank you for the 69 there. Very pleasurable. Stalker's going to get a Marine there. His body does go sliding. His gun slides off to the side there as well before disappearing into the ground because, remember guys, all Marines are Jedi. Factory and starport on the way there as well. Engineering bay going well. Charge is coming down off not that big a work account. ZEST looking like he's going just mass charge, but like, what? Surely he needs to be warping in Stalkers right now. Just 3 Stalkers is not enough. He really should be going Stalkers. So he's going to play a mass charge lot style from here. Is ZEST, if BYUN can catch onto this, he just needs a lot of Marines, and that's all he needs. Tries to stim the Marauder, but ZEST does have Blink ready. BYUN's just going to move forward and assert a little bit of map control, but ZEST sees it's just a handful of units. Does see more bio building up on the high ground. 2 sentries will warp in behind this. Where are they? There we go, in the natural. And going up to about 9 gateways, maybe 10 would be advisable. He's on 8 gateways right now. Stalkers find a random Marine over there. He's just fighting for map vision. Is ZEST and trying to deny BYUN's third base saturating very slowly. ZEST looked like he was very worried about getting hit by a big attack. He's kind of planning a mass Zealot run by, I think. So I think he'll start warping in over here in the near future. But in the meantime, look at that Marine. 1 hit point Marine. We'll see that this third doesn't have many workers on it. If BYUN goes in with that Marine and sees that low worker count, he really should just be very careful, very patient. And this is actually really good for him because he's going to run into the warp prism. Oh, he changes his angle. Oh, he sees the observer. That's why. That's why. Does clean that up. ZEST hiding his prism up here. Very well done. He wants this attack to move out. That's when he'll fly on in there. As long as the unit production's pretty consistent, he can defend it just by fighting with SCVs and the A move. And the turret might get quite a few hits on this prism as well. So ZEST got to be careful. Flies right into that turret. Already in the yellow. And Marines get inside the bunker. Looks like that turret not in range of that one. Prism does go down. Ooh, okay. It's a good hold here by BYUN. Now the turret goes down. As that warp prism has fallen, the Zealots go down. It's going to be a total of 6. Will he get a 7th or an 8th SCV kill? He might. Marines take a long time to kill these bad boys. It's going to be 8 SCV kills. And a big push on the right side. There's no damage backing this up, though. there really is not much damage there. So BYUN doesn't lose much for that. Now Zealots do catch him on the reverse side. That third CC is in trouble. Might be able to defend it. I think because it's spotted so early, Zest makes a wise choice to pull back. Little does he know what we see. That third command center sitting out in the open. Get out of there. Battery overcharge. These fights are not good for BYUN. I mean, he gets 2 sentries, which is okay, but if he gets caught now, he's screwed. Oh no, BYUN's dead. Oh no, he's losing way too many units on the map. And like I said, if only he had realized that Zest was just sitting on 52 workers and massing Zealot Stalker. And Zest did this to Clem at last year's World Championship, and Clem was such a hyped player in that matchup, and people thought he was maybe even the favorite, and Zest just did not let him play his game. And that's exactly the same sort of style here. It's the, you don't realize how committed I am to this army, and the moment you move out, I'm swinging in with backstabs, I'm jumping on your army, and I'm really catching you off guard. And now he switches gears drastically again. He says, look, now you're going to pull home and lick your wounds and try to build up a mass to deal with the Zealots. I'm not building any more Zealots. I've only got 8 Zealots. I'm going to go double Robo Bay, up to 6 gases, add those extra 10 probes. And BYUN is the one who's, of course, going, well, you're playing so aggressive. I've got to switch gears. I've got to play double upgrades. He's building another engineering bay and an armory, getting a wall started on the third. He wants to go 2-2 upgrades, probably head towards ghosts, maybe think about a 4th command center. And that's going to be great versus Zealots, Stalkers, Immortals. Little does he realize that Colossus are going to be hitting the field in the next minute or two. And about, I'd say, what do you guys think? 10 minutes 30? Unless BYUN has Zest pinned back, we might see Zest just do a 4 Colossus push with range, about 10 minutes 30. I think a Templar Archives will come down shortly as well. He's going double Forge, actually, so yeah, he's probably going to drop a 4th base, but definitely 10 minute 30 is a dangerous time for BYUN. It's going to be a very dangerous moment where he probably doesn't have any Vikings. And look at this army. This is almost like a fake. This is just Zest being like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm scary, but oh my god, Zest! Zest, what are you doing, bro? Oh my god, he lost track of his army there. He loses like 7 Stalkers for free. That is not a good play for him. And a big mistake for Zest costs him most of his anti-air. At this point, as BYUN, I'd definitely be tempted to split off a drop and go hit the main, while also harassing this side. Maybe try and get a kill on the 4th base, that sort of thing. Marine's going to trade its life for a probe. Unless Daddy Colossus stops it, but no, probe gets, actually, its body just got tossed down there into the molten mineral refinery. Damn, brutal. Observer placement, immaculate as always. Zest is the best observer placer in PvT. I'm not even kidding. He adjusts it based on the situation, and he does it better than most. I really think it's one of the key attributes of his game. Armory's finished, so he's going to have to stand a Stalker on top since he didn't have detection. Shoots his own Stalker, kills the Widow Mine with the splash damage. 4th command center goes down, 2-2 upgrades. Ghosts building 3 at a time, so he's going to be getting up to 6 ghosts. And a 2nd starport building on the factory's reactor. The factory, of course, just lifts off, and I think he's just going to use that as a scout from here. Doesn't have too much use for Widow Mines. When you're up into big armies of Bio Ghost, Widow Mine's just an unnecessary kind of piece of complexity, especially against Colossus and Disruptors that outrange them very easily. And here we go. Oh, that Ghost's in trouble, potentially. Well, he throws an EMP, but unable to scare Zest back. I said about 10:30 is a scary time for BYUN, and speak of the devil, 10:45, Colossus chasing BYUN home. Zest, I think, could kill him at this moment. Could push forward and kill this 4th. He doesn't know about it. The Observer. Look at the way he shuffles these Observers forward, guys. When he was on the defense, they were defensive. Now he moves them up aggressively, and he goes, where are you? Where are your bases? Let's go. Stalker's going up there, finding that base, isolated on the left. He's going to have to get that out of there, but there's so many Stalkers. He's going to be feeling forced to fight is BYUN. That command center is the bait, and it's lured BYUN into a very bad fight. BYUN, he's like, give me a minute for 2-2 and a pack of Vikings to get out, please. He doesn't have it all together. The Colossus out front. Zest a little lazy there. The Colossus, will they die though, or will they barely survive? Oh, okay, he saves 2 of them. Wait, no, 1 goes down. There's still 2 Colossus here though, and the Bio's so clumped up attacking into this. Maybe if he pulled SCVs from the right side as well, he could have done it. But look at these hot pickups. The Prism will go down. The Colossus on the right will finally fall, but not before. The 4th command center does survive, actually. I was going to say before that 4th falls. BYUN holds. BYUN clears this army out. And he's actually got a really big army advantage right now. He does have 4 command centers building. Nice dodge there with the Stalkers. Now Zest's 4th is not saturated. If he had a saturated 4th, I think he could rebuild. But right now, what's he doing? Prism disruptors. He's got to chrono the shit out of those. And honestly, does ZEST have Templar Archives? He does not. He can't make Archons with his gas. That would be really good just to help hold the line. He's making just Stalkers, so he's going to go Stalker Disruptor to try and hold the line against this counterattack. BYUN, though, is holding the SCV key down, and as long as he doesn't miss a beat on his SCVs, he doesn't actually need to do crazy damage here. He could play this slow. Yes, ZEST will take a lead against him, but it won't be a massive lead. And look, this is a pretty good fight for BYUN. Oh, and the Disruptor's way out to the left. It gets caught by the Vikings. He's just going to have to do a dead drop right on top. The Marauders do quickly do a hot pickup. Nice play by BYUN. Gets the Disruptor. And these units coming through from the right are going to kill these Stalkers. There's no Zealots. You need Zealots here. You need more Disruptors. I can't believe after losing his army, ZEST was so slow to rebuild. He played so confidently, but this was not the right sort of confidence. There's confidence where you know that you can toe that line just right and be on the edge of greed without getting caught out. In this case, this was ZEST going, nah, you can't counterattack me. Why did he only have one Disruptor, one Warp Prism, no other units? And why was the Disruptor not holding the ramp? Why did he not warp in Zealots any earlier? And where the hell is the shield battery? That should have been an easier hold for him. But instead, BYUN has tied up the work account. He's looking fine in terms of army. Yes, Protoss ZEST will take advantage of an upgrade advantage in the near future, but I don't know, dude. We've got 4 more medevacs on the way. Behind that, I expect Viking production to restart to deal with Colossus. And you're looking at just a lot of ghosts, a lot of bio, similar upgrades. DT harass coming in could definitely help out here. Scans down. I don't know if that was an Observer or a Dark Templar he caught there. But those DTs are about to hit him. And if they hit him right when he's occupied elsewhere, could go very badly for BYUN if he's distracted. Oh, throws an EMP and then gets out of there. DT going for the natural. That's one of the prime targets. 4th base as well. Look at that, guys. DT in the 3rd. DT in the natural doing damage. Marauders will clean this one up. But 11 workers have gone down. Make it 12. And scan 13, 14 SCVs for 2 Dark Templar. Beautiful play there. BYUN, though, 4 command centers. Holds the SCV key down. He'll replace those very quickly. Those Vikings are now on the way. And no Disruptors. ZEST not having any faith in Disruptors recently. Immortals are not bad units, but EMP really reduces their tankiness, knocking their barrier down and 100 shields. So they only have 200 hit points left after that. They do die rather quickly. Plasma shields and +3 armor on the way, though, continuing the upgrades very nicely as ZEST. He's trying to take a 5th on the left side of this map, and definitely feels like ZEST should have been able to continue to build a big lead economically off of that big attack that was so close to killing BYUN, but BYUN just barely held on and somehow finds himself in the driver's seat after all of that. And is BYUN better than Maru? Maybe when it comes to facing ZEST, he is. Dark Templar runs in. Only 2 kills on that one. Good multitask. BYUN denies the 5th. I don't know if this is the fight that he wants right now, though. Definitely not into battery overcharge. The ghosts go a little bit far forward. This is a really bad fight for BYUN. Angle-wise, the battery overcharge is just going to slaughter him. And BYUN does this sometimes. Just kind of headbutts into a brick wall, and that's exactly what he just did. Just when he'd secured such a lead for himself, he takes an absolutely nonsense engagement, loses some of those medevacs as well. I'm not sure what he's thinking right now. Feels like he's clicking with his dick a little bit, showing his inner parting. And odd for a Terran player like BYUN, who has recently become a lot better with his decision-making, to attack there. Definitely feels like he's thrown away a large army. Now he does trade out, gets a Colossus, some Stalkers. In the end, these medevacs hopefully fly home. He's got to float his main out and take the 5th base, and it just feels like that was an unnecessary trade, and the Colossus still stand at the end. As long as he denies this base on the bottom right, I guess it's okay. Trading is still trading. Keeping the army small tends to favor the Terran. Keeps these 3 medevacs alive. Units lost tab very even between the players. I wish I checked in on that earlier so I could really see what the direct efficiency of that exact engagement was. But anyway, going to move down here. Keep 3 bases up mining. DT's running in the right side. There's still a turret there. There's still some Widow mines that do see these blurs, but of course, very unlikely BYUN screen is there right now. Observer just barely out of scan range. Look at that. I'm telling you guys, ZEST's observers are so good. So good. I'd like to see him shuffle this one back over here. Right now, he's got a few balls in there. 2 disruptors. I've seen ZEST just turn around games completely against BYUN with disruptors. That's not going to be the case. 2 DTs run in. And turret, drop a scan. Okay, just EMPs. Nice recall, but I don't think that saves it in time. Oh, I think that barely died, guys. Yeah, I don't see an Archon appearing next to any of these. DT Blink is now in the way. The bottom right base is mining. BYUN doesn't know about it. BYUN needs to check for that. This observer still seeing everything that's going on. Zest with some fantastic map vision. Could rotate to that bottom right side. I'd love to see BYUN drop another command center for insurance in the late game, but he's just holding down the unit key, making sure he's ready to fight. Zest! Oh my god! 19 Zealot run by. The Stalkers distract on the right side of the map. And he does a 19 Zealot run by, which is going to slaughter that middle base. And Zest wants, just as BYUN's attacking, he wants to A-move those Zealots in, and he knows that BYUN is going to be stuck trying to micro an incredibly hard position. BYUN's a little spread right now as well, which is not bad, but it's also not great. Here come those Zealots. BYUN needs to run home right now. He's going for the fight. This is perfectly played by Zest. He's got a giant Zealot attack just as BYUN's trying to microverse the balls. BYUN eats balls and loses a whole mineral line. Zest just taking advantage of the fact that he baits BYUN into staring at the front, and BYUN loses a whole mineral line and a lot of his army trying to handle an impossible situation. The Zealot A move on the counter attack and the Disruptors on the front, and it's those moments of timing that make Terran players rage, where they go, you just A move your Zealots, you don't need to stim them, you don't need to micro, because I don't have any big splash damage that just kills them. I don't have anything like that, whereas I need to stare at my army, you know? So that's it. Even though the Zealots can seem so weak versus Terran who's microing against them, the trick is always finding a way to hit where the Terran isn't looking, while you're forcing their attention on the front with Disruptors. Whether your Disruptors are defensive or offensive, you hit different areas. You start to trickle these DTs in now as well, and you've got BYUN's economy absolutely slaughtered. The game is turned around completely here. BYUN going to go for a triple drop, but look at that. Zealot DTs coming in, and BYUN's army's too small. The observers have been tracking him. Zest's been able to pick exactly when and where the fights happen because of those observers, and I have to reiterate, my biggest kind of wish for the balance is to get rid of the vision extension on the observer siege up. I think it's one of the worst additions to the game in this matchup, especially where you just don't know when they're watching you. Every other race is scouting. You usually know when you're being watched, Changeling being the rare exception. Much easier to spot for pro gamers though, and Zest is going to dive on that fourth base, and this is an excellent turnaround, and I love what he's done here, Zest. BYUN tries to take a fight there, but he gets giant balls dropped on his face, tries to pick up and dodge it. The Vikings unable to kill even all the Colossus, and he's going to run on back and just get caught out by this. BYUN, such an unfortunate way for things to turn around. Zest with great observer vision, great planning, and like I said, I don't think this is undeserved. I think even if he didn't quite have as much vision, Zest would probably have pulled off this victory. I just think it's one of those things where that observer should not have that big vision extension when it sieges up there. It's a little bit too powerful in this matchup, too hard to spot those observers. GG, well played though. Zest is definitely the favorite here, and he manages to make an insane comeback. GG, well played by Zest. All right, guys, going for a Max Packs build. This is Dragon Phoenix Gaming Zest. He's built his first gateway on the other side of the map, sent a probe across at the very start. BYUN has not scouted, and is this where BYUN loses this series? Is it building a command center on the low ground and getting caught out? Worst case scenario for BYUN, guys, would be if he builds a Marine into a factory. And he goes Reaper. It's not great. A Reaper does take a long time to build. That SCV needs to get repaired. Just 1 hit point to get it to 6 hit points means it will survive 1 probe hit, but doesn't even bother since the probe does get scared off. And this is going to be 2 Zealots and then a Stalker going across the map. Remember, the Reaper will jump down here if it goes straight across the map. And a Nexus at home. Cybercore goes up at home. Remember, there's no gateway at home for Zest. So if the Reaper goes across the map and then he cancels the command center, BYUN might be able to kill a few probes. Of course, Zest can build a shield battery. He can recall. A few things he can do. The probe goes in. Wastes a little bit of the Reaper's time. Valuable seconds. Now, BYUN, does he just go straight across the map because the probe's dead? Yeah. Zest feeds him the probe to put him at ease. And then look at this. He knows the Reaper's going to go down. The Zealots walk in. Stalker's being chrono boosted. Battery goes down at home, which means the Reaper can't do much damage there either. BYUN, okay. Time to cancel that. Look at that. He's already going after the reactor. Time to build a bunker at the front right now, because otherwise the Stalker's going to stop you getting that up. You need to start that bunker, BYUN. A little bit slow to start that. Reaper gets surrounded! Oh no! He kills a probe, but he gets surrounded, allowing the battery to get redone. And oh my god, BYUN's in so much trouble. If he loses this reactor, oh my god, the bunker gets slowed down. The reactor's going to go down. He's now just forced to fight against the Zealots, and BYUN gets called out for not scouting there. The Reaper into Marine into Reactor. Just so few units out. GG, well played. ZEST takes the 3-1.